Hey everybody, how's it going? This is the end result of the bases that I kind of did on camera a little bit. And my third base. I made the third base because I found a nice thin piece of that shale, slate, whatever material it was, that I showed you for those pieces. And I put it on here. It was a flat, thin, long piece. And it makes for a nice platform for Armin to stand on because he's in a robed body. The robed body is from the Dark Angel veteran kit. He, company veteran, he has a wider stance. So utilizing that body, because it'll look cool, you need a wide base type of thing. So this will work the best. He can stand on this one, but it doesn't look quite right. It looks a lot better on this guy. And that's one thing you have to make sure you think about. And I was thinking about it, but I decided to just be safe and do something like this. Does that mean these bases are unusable? No. You can use them for different models. For example, running Marines have less surface area that makes contact with the base, so they can use something like one of these two. You can also utilize these for objective markers. Now I personally like to use square bases because I have a bunch of extra square bases for my kit bashings. So normally I like to do that. Since these bases start out as something for a model, they're on a round base. I like doing a square because it saves round bases. Also, it looks different, makes it stand out. That way you kind of focus on it as an objective and not just part of an army. And it's cool to have objective markers themed to your army. So maybe I'll turn these two into objective markers. I don't know. We'll see. This one is still spackling and paste, still that shell stuff, whatever it is. But no flock. As you can see, it looks very smooth compared to the other two right there. You don't always need to use flock on your models. If you're going for a, what's it called? Sleek look, like obsidian glass styled look, you'll won't need flock for that. If you're looking for like magma, active magma, and utilizing green stuff and spackling and paste for that, you don't need any flock either. Maybe you're going for an ice look, you don't need flock for that. It all depends what you're doing. So that's why I didn't go with this. I want it very sleek looking. I want it to look like maybe Armin who's standing on it with his staff up, his crook staff held high. Maybe he's channeling power and it's just changing the land around him a bit. You know, who knows? Something narrative like that. The color scheme is Chaos Black undercoat. Then I did like a heavy dry brush of Codex Gray. It wasn't quite a regular paint. It was more like a dry brush. But I made sure it was heavy and got pretty much everywhere. On top of that, I did Fortress Gray, which was a lighter dry brush, and on top of that was Astronomicon Gray to get it kind of bright. I edged the bases in Khemri Brown. You can edge it whatever color you like. I suggest doing it in a color that's different from the base and different from the model going on the base, because I find not because I've done it before, but when I'm doing these guys, I tend to get it very gray. For example, these guys got very gray on the ridge of the base. And in that rim, when it's all gray, it kind of takes away from the base, in my opinion. It kind of makes it all this one gray blob, if you will. So this kind of makes it pop because it has contrast. And keeping it different from your model, make sure your model doesn't blend in with the rim of the base. Not that it's going to blend in completely, but you don't want it to also lose its detail. Unless you're going for a very camouflage look, in which case, sure. So that's pretty much it for these bases. The reason why I constantly kind of do these little basing videos is because bases are important. In fact, I haven't done much with the Armin model itself aside from what you saw, but having his base done is a big step in completing the model. You can't leave out the base. You can't forget about the base. A nice model on an empty base it's missing something. It's not fully complete. So that's why I constantly do these basing things. I think basing is important. Whatever you do with it, resin bases, making your own, doesn't matter. Just on top of getting your models painted, get your bases finished and based and all that. So that's pretty much it. And until next time, take it easy.